Ever felt like you're missing something in a conversation? Like there's a whole other layer of communication happening right under your nose? Well, you're not wrong. Today, we're diving deep into the world of microexpressions, the tiny, fleeting facial movements that reveal a person's true emotions, even when they're trying to hide them. This isn't just about calling someone's bluff. It's a superpower that can transform how you navigate every single social interaction. So, what exactly are microexpressions? They are involuntary, split-second facial reactions that expose our genuine feelings. Think of them as emotional leakage. When you experience a strong emotion, your brain's limbic system triggers an immediate response on your face before your conscious mind can even process it and put on a mask. We're talking flashes that last less than half a second. This is rooted in our evolution. Long before we had complex language, these signals were crucial for survival, quickly assessing friend from foe, danger from safety. So, that poker face you think is impenetrable. Science says otherwise. Your true feelings are always bubbling just beneath the surface. And what's fascinating is that the core expressions, happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust, and contempt are universal. A flash of fear looks the same in Tokyo as it does in Toronto. It's a silent language we all speak, whether we know it or not. Let's get practical and break down the decoder ring for these hidden signals. We'll start with fear. Look for widened eyes, raised and pulled together eyebrows, and a slightly open mouth with the lips stretched horizontally. It's that classic deer in the headlights look, but it flashes by in an instant. Anger is different. You'll see eyebrows lowered and drawn together, narrowed or glaring eyes, and tightened lips, either pressed firmly or squared off as if to shout. Sadness often manifests with the inner corners of the eyebrows drawn up, drooping eyelids, and the corners of the mouth pulling slightly downwards. It's the subtle start of a full-blown frown. And surprise, that's wide-open eyes, raised eyebrows in a curved shape, and a dropped jaw. It's the most fleeting of all, often immediately replaced by another emotion like fear or happiness. Now, let's talk about the one everyone wants to spot: deceit. There's no single Pinocchio nose-growing expression for lying. Instead, you're looking for incongruence. For example, someone says, "Yes, I'm totally fine with that decision," but you see a flash of contempt, a one-sided lip corner pull, like a mini. That's a huge red flag. Or they might be telling a sad story, but you spot a tiny, suppressed smile. This leakage happens because it's incredibly difficult for the brain to fabricate an emotional response while simultaneously suppressing a genuine one. The truth literally fights to get out. Ready to test your new skills? Let's do a quick-fire interactive challenge. I'm going to show you a few faces, each for just a split second. Your job is to identify the hidden emotion. Ready? Here's the first one. What did you see? If you notice the eyebrows pulling down and together and the lips tightening, that was a flash of anger. How about this next one? That quick raising of the upper lip, creating wrinkles on the nose. That was disgust. And this last one. See how the corners of the lips pulled slightly down and the inner eyebrows went up. A classic micro-expression of sadness. How did you do? Don't worry if you missed them at first. Training your eyes to catch these flashes takes practice. So, you can spot these expressions. How does this become your real-world superpower? Let's start with negotiations. Imagine you're selling a product, you name your price, and for a fraction of a second, you see the client's eyes widen and eyebrows raise in surprise, followed by a tight-lipped, neutral face. That flash of surprise tells you your price was likely higher than they expected. You now have critical information. Do you hold firm, or do you explain the value to justify the cost? You've just gained an advantage by reading their unfiltered reaction. In your social life, it's just as powerful. Maybe a friend says they're happy for your success, but you catch a fleeting downward turn of their lip sadness. Perhaps they're feeling insecure or left behind. Understanding this allows you to approach them with empathy instead of just taking their words at face value. It helps you see the person behind the mask. And in conflicts, it's a game changer. You might be in a heated argument, but you spot a micro-expression of fear on the other person's face. This tells you they feel threatened, not just aggressive. Recognizing that underlying emotion lets you de-escalate the situation. Shifting from confrontation to reassurance, and addressing the root cause of the conflict before it explodes. Mastering this skill requires practice, just like any other. Here's how you can sharpen your observational skills. Start by consciously observing people in your daily life, in coffee shops, in meetings, even your own family. Don't stare, just pay closer attention during conversations. Try to notice the small twitches and movements around their eyes and mouth. Another fantastic tool is media. Watch interviews, political debates, or reality TV shows, but turn the sound off. Without the distraction of words, your brain can focus entirely on visual cues. Rewind and watch reactions in slow motion. Ask yourself, does their facial expression match the context of the situation? But remember, the most important rule: context is everything. A single microexpression is not a lie detector test. A flash of fear could mean they're lying about where they were last night, or it could mean they're just afraid of your reaction, even if they're telling the truth. You must treat these expressions as pieces of a larger puzzle. Combine them with body language, tone of voice, and the situation itself to get a more accurate read. Finally, we have to talk about the ethics of this. With great power comes great responsibility. The goal of learning micro-expressions should be to increase empathy and foster better understanding, not to manipulate people or win arguments. Think of it as a tool to connect more deeply, to see when a friend is hurting despite their smile, or to understand a colleague's unspoken concerns in a project. It's about reading the emotional subtext to build stronger, more honest relationships. Respecting privacy is also key. It's probably not appropriate to psychoanalyze the cashier at the grocery store. Use your skills in situations where genuine communication and understanding are important, like with your partner, your team at work, or close friends. The journey of mastering nonverbal communication is a continuous one. It's about becoming a more astute and compassionate observer of the human condition. By learning this silent language, you're not just decoding others, you're also gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and the rich, complex emotional world we all inhabit. Start paying attention today, and you'll be amazed at what you begin to see. Thanks for watching, and if you found this valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into the human mind. See you next time.